Hello, my name is APOC, and I'm going to tell you a story. That's why this series is called Storytime. Wouldn't make sense if I did anything else. So why am I playing Call of Duty in the background, you ask? Well, because it's something I'm good at, and I was hoping to entertain you while I ramble on. Can't just have you staring at a black screen while I talk to myself. I mean, I can't animate or anything, so might as well play a game. Now that that is out of the way, let me tell you a story about a girl I was very good friends with in elementary school. Forewarning, it's rather depressing. You might want to grab some tissues while I set the scene. When I was in the first grade, my family moved out of the tiny apartment and into a house. That's awesome and all, but it also meant I had to change schools. Like any normal person, I despised change, so I wasn't looking forward to never seeing any of my friends again and being thrust into some strange new world filled with people I'd never seen before. But as it turns out, first graders don't really judge people, and I was greeted by someone who would become one of my closest friends over the next 3 years. Alright, one last interjection before the story gets going in full swing. For the sake of privacy, people are going to get different names. Can't have the video blowing up and then a horde of people go and hunt this girl down. Let's call her Amory. Again, that's not her name, just the name of the chick sitting in front of me while I write this script. And yes, it is scripted because I can't really, tell the story very well off the top of my head. So, deal with it. Poof, I'm back in first grade. The teacher made me stand up in front of the class and introduce myself. I personally believe that this isn't the best way to introduce someone new because, well, now the whole class knows exactly who I am, but I have absolutely no clue about who the heck everyone else is. So lunchtime rolls around, and I'm chilling at a table, all isolated, when this girl with strawberry blonde hair just flops down next to me. The simple sentence of, "Hi Zach, I'm Amory," was all it took to start an amazing friendship. We made all kinds of fantastic memories together. Birthday parties in the second grade, we started dating, if you can call that even if, blah, 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 blah. We started dating, that is, if you can call two third graders holding hands dating. Fourth grade was where all the best memories took place. In one class, we had a competition to see who could build a house of cards that could hold the most weight. In another, we built a bridge out of toothpicks and glue, yeah,
I can't read.
and competed to see who could hold more weight as well. Then, 3/4 of the way through the school year, the county starts building a new school, and I end up getting redistricted again. I would be attending there for my 5th grade year. Now, this was devastating for me, but she gave me her home phone number, and my mom said when I was 13 I could use our home phone for social calls. That was 3 years in the future, but I was determined and have a really good memory. So fast forward through 5th grade, nothing relevant happened then. Halfway through 6th grade, a kid that was in the same class that we built the toothpick bridge in shows up at my middle school because his mom started teaching there. Fancy that. So, of course, the very first thing I ask him is how all of my old friends are doing. Well, here's where everything goes bad. Apparently, halfway through 5th grade, Amory's mom disappeared for about 3 days. On that third day, she was found dead in the woods. After this happened, her dad packed their whole life up and moved them to Vermont. I live in Georgia, so that's quite a long travel. That day when I got home, I begged my mom to let me call her, but big surprise, the phone number was disconnected. At this point, there wasn't really anything I could do to get back into contact with her, so every year, on her birthday, September 24th, I searched every form of social media I could think of, like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, you name it, and I was searching. 5 years later, on her 17th birthday, I found a Facebook page in memory of her mother, run by her mom's sister. I left a message on this page apologizing for their loss and asking if they knew of a way I could get back into contact with Amory. A few days later, I got a response that informed me that after the incident, Amory's mother's side of the family and her father's side of the family didn't really get along and were not in contact with one another at all. The reason for this was even more depressing. Her dad had been named the main suspect in the case. However, due to lack of evidence, he was never charged, and by moving out of the state, he removed himself and his family from the local authorities' jurisdiction. In 2015, he was convicted of the murder, but was never arrested because of the jurisdiction fact previously mentioned. This makes me feel even worse because Amory and her sisters had been living with their dad for the last 5 years knowing that he killed their mom. But in 2016, their dad came back to the town I grew up in and was arrested upon arrival. I continued to monitor the status of this case every other month or so, and when I discovered that their dad was arrested, I went searching for social medias and other articles on the case. 8 years since I had last talked to Amory, and I found her on Facebook. We reconnected and she told me her story. Apparently, her dad didn't allow her or her sister to create any social media in order to protect himself. She's one of the strongest people I have ever met in my life, because even after all of the crap life threw at her, she persevered. As I continue to reflect back on our elementary years together, with the knowledge that her family was in shambles that whole time that I knew her, I realize it's all about perspective. Everyone is dealing with something, and every single person does what they can to cover it up. So maybe, just maybe, we can work to be kind. Work to find that new kid sitting alone at a lunch table and simply say hello. And never forget that once in a while, it wouldn't hurt to look at life from a different perspective. On a completely different note, I apologize for my shoddy script reading and video editing. Just know that I'm learning and it will get better in the future. Thank you for your time.